Hello everybody, welcome to Also Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel, it is nearly at 50k, so that is much appreciated. And also drop a like on this video. But holy shit, they actually did it. The Lakers got beat by the Suns, and going into this game knowing that AD was not going to be 100%, and then of course he immediately gets re-injured, or at least gets it tweaked and has to pull out of the game. Obviously the prediction at that point is like, yeah, that's the team that's going to win, is the Suns. Like, LA is screwed at this point. They're down 3-2, and they just don't have things going in their favor. And, even when it was like a 30-point game, it was like, obviously the Suns are going to win this one. But just seeing a LeBron team lose in the first round is something I've never experienced. I have watched the NBA since 2012, and LeBron has been in the finals every year except for once. Yeah, just once, I'm pretty sure. That first year with Los Angeles, unless I'm just like being dumb right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. So like, to see him lose in the first round, it just didn't feel real. And I guess that speaks to the greatness of LeBron, that he's so ridiculously successful that seeing him lose in the first round feels straight up surreal. But it's just fucking weird to see the Lakers in this situation. Now, I would love to like take credit and be like, hey, I've been mentioning over and over again that the Lakers are extremely vulnerable right now. So they could lose to the Suns. I came in from the perspective of, yeah, the Suns can win. It's not out of the realm of possibility like some might suggest. But I did not expect them to not only win, but win rather convincingly. Now, of course, AD's injury is a huge factor in this. Game 5 went the way that it did, and really this game as well went the way that it did because of AD for the most part. Now, I will say Game 5, I think the Suns would have won regardless, because first of all, AD was not even playing well when he did play, but second of all, it was more so the Suns just coming out of the gate firing, and I don't think AD would have alleviated that. And I still think they would have won, but, if AD played this entire game, I think that makes a difference. That being said, the Suns, on their side of things, unbelievable job by them. I'm not going to speculate too much on what's next for the Lakers, because I'm going to be doing a video on that. But it's definitely a weird feeling to me to see this team lose. Like I said, I was saying that the injury issues, the lack of chemistry this year because they've barely played as a team. I expected the Lakers to not look their best, but it's just so weird to see them lose in the first round, especially. I'd love to take credit, but I never thought it would get this far. I will say though, to the people who just dismissed me being like, hey, this could be a problem, I was right to that extent. I didn't think it'd be this big of a problem, but I was sure as fuck right about it being a problem, so haha, I was right, you were wrong. Not that I'm typically right, so I have to take the W's that I can. But as for this individual game, really out of the gate, it was almost a 30-point lead. Devin Booker, I think he hit 6 threes in the first quarter, which is fucking hilarious because Michael Porter Jr. did the same thing in the Blazers-Nuggets game today, and that tied Michael Jordan's record for threes in a quarter in the playoffs. So for that to happen twice in the same day is fucking weird. Like what kind of shit is that? I think that's not being talked about enough. From what I saw on Twitter, this is not normal for that record to be tied twice in the same day. Both games that happen today, that happens. It's just weird. There's a lot of weird shit about this. But Devin finishes this game, and I'm going to read you this stat line, and I'll say, as good as this stat line is, it honestly doesn't feel like it properly highlights how well Booker actually played. 47 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists on 15 for 22 shooting, which is 68% from the field, 8 for 10 from 3, which unless you're stupid, you should realize is 80%, and then 9 for 9 from the free throw line. So 68, 80, 100 splits with 47 points and 11 rebounds. Outside of that, really, there was not too much contribution from everyone else. Chris Paul was distributing just fine, and Jay Crowder was hitting his threes today. He goes 6 for 9 from three, by far his best performance of the playoffs thus far. But other than Jay hitting his open shots and Booker creating his own offense at a crazy rate, it was just, yeah, this game was just like Book pouring it on and really taking the Suns to the next level, because it felt almost like the teams were like, you know what, fuck this, I'm trying to go to the next round. That's what the Suns were like. I did say that's what the teams were like, because the Lakers were, at least initially, seemed like they were like, fuck this, I'm trying to move on to Cancun rather than to the second round. LeBron in this one, I'll give him this. He shot the ball more, which is what we've been pleading for this entire series. I believe it was game 3 when LeBron did the laughing while Jay Crowder was defending him in the post thing. I thought that was like going to be a signal of a turning point of, okay, LeBron's going to be really aggressive from here on out. And then not really. Shot 26 times today. Now, didn't make them as much as you would like, but, you know, he clearly wasn't just, you know, honing this one in like he had in many other games in this series. Now, I'm not going to be too critical of him, because at the end of the day, the Lakers without AD I don't think are as good as the Suns, so it makes sense for them to lose, especially with momentum so heavily in Phoenix's favor. But, you know, I'm sure Skip Bayless will overreact to it. That's for damn sure. Overall, though, I'm sure Twitter right now is a narrative wasteland. Wouldn't be shocked by that at all. LeBron, anytime anything happens with LeBron, it's a narrative wasteland, so that it is what it is. And, you know, the role players came to play for an extent. Dennis Schroeder, who got a lot of flack, rightfully so, for Game 5, had a decent performance today, and KCP was lights out as well. What was interesting is in, like, the first half, he only had, like, one less shot than LeBron, and then in the second half, LeBron turned it on a little bit more. And, you know, I did say it was like a 30-point game. The Lakers did make it interesting at certain points, so you have to give them that credit. But at the end of the day, the Phoenix Suns beat the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Lakers are out of the playoffs in round 1. And it's seeming like the Mavericks are going to beat the Clippers, so the Battle of LA is just simply never going to fucking happen at this rate. So that's something. But as for, I mean, I guess I can talk about Phoenix briefly as for what's coming next for them. Next, they obviously have the Denver Nuggets matchup, which I'm definitely going to be making a video about. But for the Lakers, it's just, I'm trying to think of actual analysis here, but I'm just kind of dumbfounded by this. Like, I knew it was coming, but it just feels weird that this team is out at this point, because I picked this team to win the conference, even though I had my doubts about them. I was still like, you know, it's LeBron and AD, so they'll figure it out. Which I feel is a pretty solid solid line of logic, solid reasoning. But I guess they didn't fucking figure it out, because the Suns won this one. I'm sorry if this post-game recap is really just me going, wow, but that's like all I can take away from it. This was an unbelievable performance from Devin Booker, and really the Phoenix Suns came to play the series. And the fact that, you know, Chris Paul's injury made him bad for, what was it, 3 or 4 games? I think it was 3. And they still walk away with this win. Obviously, AD's injury changed things, but honestly, you can't take this away from Phoenix, I don't think. And honestly, from just pure like importance to the team standpoint, even though Anthony Davis is obviously better than Chris Paul is arguably just as important to the Suns as AD is to the Lakers. That's the whole reason why he was getting MVP talks to begin with, even though he was never going to win MVP. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna like put it. I don't think there's any reason to put an asterisk on this. I wonder if I go on Twitter, if the first fucking search result is gonna be the first thing on the trending bar is just gonna be fucking LeMickey, because that's how Twitter is. LeBum, okay, there's that one. Father Time, Harrell is trending. Bubble Frauds, Braun, Skip Bayless, okay, that one makes sense. Yeah, that's I don't have a whole lot of fucking takes from this one. It's just a great fucking performance. Ingram is trending on Twitter because people think the Lakers could have kept Ingram in their Anthony Davis trade, which is absolutely not true. So I hate that fucking argument. But yeah, so Lakers lost. Very weird. Didn't expect it, even though I did see the signs of it happening. and it just feels fucking weird. That's this whole video is just me saying it's weird. I don't know why you watched it to this point. If you did, shout out to you, but I was just saying the same shit over and over. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Get to 50K. Tomorrow is Clippers Mavericks, game 6 or 7. It's 6. Yeah, it's 6. So that should be interesting. Let's see if one of these LA teams actually manages to win a series, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening. This year's playoffs has been fucking wild. Anyways, that's it. Goodbye.